Hello guys, how are you? Welcome to our YouTube channel, Biography Podcast, your ultimate destination for inspiring stories of remarkable individuals throughout history. From world leaders to pioneers, artists to innovators, we bring their journeys to life in every video. Join us as we unlock the secrets, challenges, and triumphs of the most influential figures who shaped our world. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. So let's start the Biography English podcast video.
All right, so today we're diving deep into Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, yeah, really diving deep.
A true Renaissance man, right?
Yeah.
I mean, painter, sculptor, inventor, scientist.
You name it, he did it.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of information here about his life, his work, his impact.
A lot to unpack.
So our goal is to kind of pull out the most fascinating bits, the core insights into this incredible mind and what he accomplished.
Exactly. I think with Leonardo, it's so easy to get caught up in the famous paintings, the Mona Lisa.
Right.
But there's so much more to him than that. It's not just about the biography, the facts and figures.
It's about the mind.
Yeah, it's about the mind. It's about the driving force behind all of his work across all those different fields. And you know what? It all starts, as we know, back on April 15th, 1452.
Yeah, 1452, Vinci, Italy.
Right
there in the heart of Tuscany.
Beautiful part of the world.
And born to Ser Piero da Vinci, a notary, and Caterina, a peasant woman.
Yeah, illegitimate son. That's an interesting detail.
It is. Definitely shapes his early years,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even contributed to his kind of independent streak. I don't know.
It's certainly possible. And growing up in Vinci, the sources really emphasize this connection he had with nature.
Always observing.
Always observing. And his early passion for drawing, for really capturing what he saw around him. So this curiosity is just ingrained in him from a very young age.
Yeah, and even though, the sources mentioned his formal schooling might have been a bit limited, he picked up Latin, mathematics, even some science on his own.
Yeah, it's like he was constantly learning, absorbing information wherever he could find it.
Couldn't get enough.
And then around 14, he lands this apprenticeship with Andrea del Verrocchio.
In Florence.
Big moment.
A huge moment. Verrocchio's workshop, this was the place to be.
Yeah.
Not just for painting and sculpture.
Right. He's exposed to engineering, metalworking, all sorts of crafts, a real hotbed of creativity.
So Leonardo's not just learning, he's experimenting, developing his own techniques and ideas. And it doesn't take long. By 1472, he's good enough to join the Guild of St. Luke in Florence.
That's impressive. That's not easy to do.
Not at all. And this is when his artistic career really takes off. He's recognized for his mastery of perspective, light, and shadow.
But for him, those aren't just techniques. They're tools for understanding, for representing the world in a way that no one had really done before.
Yeah. And then comes the big one, The Last Supper.
Oh, iconic.
Painted between 1495 and 1498, a fresco in the convent of Santa Maria delle Grazie in Milan, commissioned by Duke Ludovico Sforza.
Quite the patron.
It is. And this scene, it's that moment when Jesus reveals he's going to be betrayed. So powerful.
It's the composition that really blows you away. The way he uses linear perspective to draw your eye to Christ at the center, and the emotion in each apostle's face, it's just phenomenal. Technique and emotion all in one.
And then there's the Mona Lisa, of course.
Maybe the most famous painting in the world.
Yeah. Right, painted between 1503 and 1506. And people are still arguing about who she is.
I know, right?
But that smile, the way he uses sfumato, this technique of blending colors to create these subtle transitions, it's mesmerizing.
It's almost like she's alive.
It really is. It's like you can see the thoughts behind her eyes.
Exactly. He mastered light and shadow to create this incredibly nuanced portrait, and it's no wonder it draws such huge crowds to the Louvre.
It's a pilgrimage for art lovers.
Absolutely. And then we have the Vitruvian Man. Now, this is from around 1490, and it's more than just a beautiful drawing, though it is that.
Yeah, it's deceptively simple.
It is. It's a man, inside a circle and a square, but it represents Leonardo's exploration of the human form, its proportions, and its connection to the universe.
Deep stuff. Yeah.
He's drawing on Vitruvius's architectural theories, showing how the human body reflects this sort of mathematical harmony that's present in everything.
So it's art and science coming together.
Exactly. A perfect symbol of the Renaissance ideal.
Right. And we should also mention some of his other works. Annunciation, the Baptism of Christ, St. John the Baptist.
All masterpieces.
And you can see how his technique is evolving, how he's constantly refining his craft.
Always pushing boundaries. Never satisfied.
Never satisfied. But now let's move beyond the paintings. Let's talk about the notebooks.
Oh, the notebooks!
Filled with sketches, diagrams, ideas spanning, you name it. Anatomy, hydraulics, optics, flight engineering.
And all written in mirror image cursive.
I know. How did he even do that? It's like peeking into this incredible mind constantly at work.
It really is. And what's so fascinating is that he seamlessly blends art and science. For him, they're not separate disciplines. They're all part of the same pursuit of knowledge.
And his anatomical studies, these were groundbreaking. He dissected human cadavers, something that was very controversial at the time.
Oh, absolutely. And his drawings, they're so detailed, so accurate. They were way ahead of their time.
And he wasn't just doing this for his art. He genuinely wanted to understand how the human body worked.
Right. And his work had a real impact. It contributed to the development of medical science. Some of his insights about the heart and brain, they weren't even fully appreciated until centuries later.
That's amazing. And then you've got his engineering ideas. Flying machines, a helicopter-like contraption, even an armored vehicle.
Some of these were so ahead of their time that the technology just wasn't there to build them.
Right. But the concepts are still incredible. The vision, it's breathtaking.
And his work on hydraulics, that did have practical applications. Canals, water management systems, all influenced by his ideas.
So practical and visionary at the same time.
Exactly. And then there's his obsession with flight. He designed gliders, studied bird flight, sketched parachutes.
He wanted to crack the code of human flight.
He did. And while he didn't quite succeed in his lifetime, his work laid the foundation for later aviation pioneers. He understood the principles of lift and drag, even if he couldn't quite put them into practice.
Amazing. And it wasn't just anatomy and engineering. He was into botany, geology.
Always observing the natural world, looking at plants, fossils, trying to understand the processes that shape our planet.
A true polymath.
Absolutely. And in the early 1500s, he moves to Milan and starts working for the Sforza family.
This is like Leonardo 2.0.
Right. He's a military engineer, architect, court artist. He's doing it all.
Designing fortifications, weaponry, all sorts of things. And then in 1516, he gets this invitation to France from King Francis I.
Quite an honor.
It is. And he spends his last few years there still working, still exploring, even as his health declines.
And he dies in 1519. It really marks the end of an era.
A true giant passes.
It does. But his legacy, that's what's truly mind-blowing.
Huge impact across so many fields.
Art, science, engineering. His influence is everywhere.
So as an artist, he changed the way we see the human form, how we use light and perspective, how we convey emotion in art.
He really did set a new standard. And as a scientist and inventor, he anticipated so many discoveries. Anatomy, engineering, flight, all because he was constantly questioning, observing, experimenting.
And his notebooks, they're this incredible testament to his curiosity. They show us how he thought, how he connected different ideas.
And ultimately, he was a true polymath, a Renaissance man in every sense of the word. Driven by this insatiable thirst for knowledge, this desire to understand the world and everything in it.
So I guess the question for our listeners is, how can we channel that same spirit of inquiries in our own lives, even in today's world, where we tend to specialize so much?
Right. What can we learn from Leonardo's approach? Maybe it's about looking for connections between different fields, being open to new ideas, and never, ever losing that sense of wonder.
That's a great point to end on. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
My pleasure.
Until next time.
See you then.